All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we want to look at the attribute of Dhul-Jalali wal-Ikram, which means the possessor or the owner of majesty and glory. And we spoke before about these attributes of Allah, where some talk about who Allah is and others talk about what Allah does. This is one of the ones that refer to who he is. And it is an or a mostly encompassing, we could consider it an all-encompassing attribute, because it discusses or it calls to attention the esteem of the Creator. When we look at the attributes, we see like Ar-Rahman or Al-Afu, where it is the pardoner or the merciful one, meaning he is the top, meaning that in that space that he is sovereign, that nothing can be more than what he is or his capacity to do. So this is where it refers to the majesty or the honor of Allah, that he possesses this. So it describes who Allah is, and this is also done to remind us, even though all the other attributes were there to remind us of Allah's sovereignty in a space, which is all spaces, but in a particular space. But this one goes back to show that Allah is sovereign over all these things, that he has majesty and honor and is noble in all these things. And based on that fact, and based on that rank and esteem that Allah has, that he is worthy of worship, that this is a reason for us to be submissive to our Creator, that this is a reason for us to pray to and ask for forgiveness and ask for pardoning, and to not only look for the benefits or the blessings that we can find in the attributes or within our Creator, but also to understand that he has power over everything. So not just the things that are going to be good for us, but also if we don't live our lives in a particular way, if we don't live in accordance with the religion, then Allah also has power over the punishment that we may receive. Allah also has power over the extent of time that we'll experience a punishment, or that we'll experience a hard time in our life. So this is why when we look at Dhul-Jalali wal-Ikram, that we talk about the majesty and the honor of Allah, is to show that he is sovereign over everything. And everything falls under his will. Everything falls under his control. And he is the cause of it all. So this attribute helps us to remember that and to focus our attention on him as a reason to do so. أقول قد استغفر لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So in Surah 55, Surah Rahman, it discusses this attribute. The preceding verse says, everything on earth shall perish. Everything on earth shall perish. But the face of your Lord will last forever. And it talks about the majesty and glory of your Lord will last forever. And it's not a face in the sense of what we have, but this the scholars look at it as like this essence, or this just to describe it for our understanding, this essence, or this thing, this concept that is Allah. And that's we can't even really classify it as that. But it says that everything on earth shall perish, but the essence, the who Allah is, will last forever. Meaning that all these attributes that we look to Allah for, this Rahman, this Rahim, this Ghaffar, this Ghafur, this Al-Afu, all these attributes of Allah, they are useful to us as long as we are living human beings. And they are useful to all living human beings and whatever else Allah decides to create on the earth. But those attributes are useful up until there is no more earth. Up until the last person who can utilize those attributes or those blessings can. And it says everything on the earth shall perish. Meaning everything living, everything that will live will perish. One day it will all be gone. But the majesty, the honor, Allah will still be there. It will last forever, meaning that Allah is not confined by our concept of time or by the time of creation. Allah is not bound by that. So this, again, dear believers, this helps us have a reason, if we didn't have one already, to turn to our Creator and look to Him for all the things that we need. Because we know that He has the capacity to provide for us. And He has the capacity to provide for those who came after us, just like He had the capacity to provide for those who came before us. And when all that's done, when there's no one else left, when there's nothing left on this planet, Allah still has that capacity. It doesn't mean that capacity left with us, because it is with Him. And it says that it shall last forever. So let's take that to heart, dear believers. Let's understand who our Creator is. He is the owner of majesty. He is the owner of nobility, of all these things. He is sovereign over all these attributes, all these things that both benefit us and those things that serves as checks for us to improve our character, to improve our condition. Allah is Dhul-Jalali wal-Ikram. So we should worship Him, we should thank Him, we should be grateful to Him. And we should ask for His forgiveness, because we know we need it. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.